again, Jay's done it again. He's brought something so fresh and so new, full of gorgeous, genuine gemstones, lovely sterling silver. We are giving you an amazing price tonight, $139.90 versus $164.90. 5 flex pays only until midnight. There's 2 hours to take advantage of it. The only challenge is because it's limited, you might want to think about getting it early. Jay, thank you. You gave us 2 sizes. We have small, medium, and it's hinged. And the small, medium fits 5.5 to 6 1/4. Medium, large is 6 1/4 to almost 7 inches.
So the way that works, if you got a wrist the size of Suzanne, you get the small medium. If you got a wrist the size of Mawa, then you get the medium large, and they're going to fit you beautifully.
Look at this, Jay.
Isn't that beautiful?
And thanks for doing your gemstones all the way around. You certainly didn't have to do that.
Yeah, we did this. Okay, so what's this got going for it? Well, number one, it's brand spanking new, right?
Really great.
First time you're getting to see it. But these 2 materials are dear to my heart, okay? Number one, the blue turquoise in this is blue basin. So this is the turquoise. This comes out of the Mineral Park deposit out of Kingman, Arizona. This is the most expensive, it's not the most expensive turquoise that I have as far as value, because that would be some of my Sleeping Beauty and some of the other that I have. But I paid more for this rough material than any other turquoise that I've ever purchased, okay, in my life. Okay, this rough material, but I just had to have it. I'm down to the last of the last, so this is truly an American icon. You cannot get this turquoise, and if you could get it, the only way you can get it is out of private collections like the ones that we have. Even though it being said that I paid that kind of money for this turquoise, if you tried to buy it today, it would be at least 5 times, maybe even more, on the price to be able to buy the rough material. Sure. It just this is the rough material that everybody wants. It went through the roof. This was one of the few real high blue turquoises still left at that time in America. We're getting a lot of high blue material, but we're not getting it out of America right now. Okay, right. I would love to. I'd love to be able to buy it, but it's just not there. And when they do get the high blue material, the price is through the roof. I mean, literally through the roof, because they can get it. They're selling it to international vendors for big, big money, and they have people standing in line to buy it. Now, what else does this have going on? This is Malawi sapphire. It's blue sapphire from Malawi. And I could sit here and tell you a story about this trip. This was one of the wildest trips.
Crazy?
No, it's not the craziest trip I've been on, but it was very different. We went to Ethiopia first, and we went to the precious opal mines in Ethiopia, and we purchased a lot of the Ethiopian the fire opal. I mean, the precious opal, and we also got several other things on that trip. And one of the guys that was on our trip, he had a friend in Malawi, and he said, "Look, come on down to Malawi, and I've got this blue sapphire." So sight unseen. They took us down to the Malawi embassy. In Ethiopia, they do have a Malawi embassy. That was very interesting to get my visa to go into the country. It took a day. And let's just say, everything was delayed, but I found that a certain amount of American dollars attached to your passport will enable you to get your visa much quicker to Malawi. Otherwise, it might take a month, okay? So I told him, look, I don't want to immigrate. I just want to go look at the sapphire. So we get there, we go in the middle. This man, that he's a miner, he's really interesting because he's actually a tobacco farmer. Is how he makes. That's how he makes his money. He's kind of like a rancher farmer. He makes his big crop is tobacco, which is really funny because he doesn't smoke. Okay, and he's anti-smoking. But he makes that's how he makes his living. Sure. It's big. Tobacco farming in Malawi is huge, and they're very agrarian. And so then he also mines on the side. And he had this beautiful blue sapphire, and we made a deal. And, just so everybody knows, like when you go into these little airports, if you can call it an airport, okay, this is literally a little single strip very small aircraft, twin-engine aircraft that you go in, and this is their major metropolis airport, okay? And you go in, and they have a metal detector, so it's a single metal detector when you're getting back on the plane, right? And they make this big deal about you walking through the metal detector, right? So you take off all your stuff, you know, and you go through the metal detector, you don't beep. But you hand your suitcase over they have like just like a little desk thing there, so you put your suitcase on the desk. They don't run it through X-ray, they don't run it through anything. And when you're on the other side, then they give you your suitcase. And so it's like, okay, now I'm not going to sit there and point anything out to them, right?
Sure,
but I'm just saying this is the kind of stuff that happens on these trips.
That's so interesting.
And you just go, okay. And then we went to their major metropolis, and then we caught another plane into Ethiopia and then back home. But just real interesting. And every time, the reason I'm telling you that story is because every time I see this material and see any designs that we did in it, I always think of that trip and all the crazy stuff that happened. And it used to be a French colony, so the food is through the roof, unbelievable. I mean, everything's fresh. They do everything fresh. A lot of French and a lot of Italian. So the Italian food is also just there are a lot of Italian expats that live there, and there's a lot of French expats that live there also.
A couple things I need to point out is we have the matching pieces, and I have to tell you, I think the necklace is so delicious that goes back to this. And then I want to talk about the quality of the sapphires, because that to me, talking about jewelry for as long as I've done jewelry and talked about it, and I have certifications and Persian GIA stuff and all that kind of good thing, is, boy, you can recognize a great sapphire, and you can recognize a really bad sapphire, and you can recognize a sapphire that makes you excited when you're in jewelry, or a sapphire that's really inky and dark, and really you're like, it's a sapphire. Technically, yes, but it's not something that gets you excited. Jay, I have to tell you, I cannot believe how amazingly bright blue and gorgeous these sapphires are in these pieces. Now, when you look at, and I'm going to prove that, look at the matching necklace. Now, you're going to look at this, and if you love sapphire, it's your birthstone or somebody you want to gift, oh my gosh, check out this. To be able to do a drop like that in sapphire, and it's huge. That's a big, big drop of sapphire. Look at the clarity of it. Look at how blue it is. Look at the transparency of it. It's not that opaque, inky, dark sapphire that we're really, really used to when you see a lot of jewelry pieces. Then you've got the pop of bright turquoise. I love this Y shape, or this U, this soft Y or a U shape. And then it goes up to these beautifully faceted beads all the way to the back with the extension. We do have the matching earrings, a mini version. There, again, you can see, look at that sapphire. I mean, this is how you get excited about owning sapphires that are affordable. You know, it's very tough to buy really good quality sapphires. They're very expensive gemstones. We know that. But when you can get something, and this isn't the inky dark version that's more affordable. This is affordable, and yet it is a beautiful, unusual, and highly collectible sapphire. So you obviously get that in this Grace bracelet, but you really can see the quality. And then look at the ring I have on, 5 through 12. I'm just going to show you the whole suite. Look at the blueness and how big that sapphire is, and then the juxtaposition of that bright, gorgeous, clean turquoise. Just really a nice suite to own, and such a pretty combination of the two together. I think that's gorgeous, really pretty.
What I love about this, again, everything that we're showing you, everything that Suzanne showed you here so far, this is all brand new. You guys are getting to see it for the very first time. There's not oodles and boodles of these guys. Okay, you know, we made what we could make, but what does it have? Number one, I think the designs are fabulous. I really like the feel of it. The sapphire, it's really funny that you pointed that out, because this is some of the best sapphire I've ever bought in my life.
Gorgeous.
It's like an Indio blue. It's kind of, but it's got like a, it's translucent. You nailed it. Where you can actually see it, you see it sparkle, and you see how it facets. It facets amazingly.
You girls, literally, this is how nerdy I am. This is my gemstone nerd moment. I have literally, see my arm? I got goosebumps. It's highly unusual outside of our crazy fine jewelry shows that we do to get this kind of quality of sapphire. I mean, usually you've seen it. Most of the time, it's kind of inky. It's very dark. Right. It's not clear at all. It's, you know what I'm talking about, right? But this is a sapphire that really is breathtaking, and you'll be wildly proud to wear this. You know, if you love sapphires, and that's one of the, top 4 gemstones in the world. Sapphire's there. It's diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and sapphires. Those are the 4 most expensive, most sought after gemstones in the entire world. And look at what you're getting in this. In fact, you know what's funny, Jay? 1, 2, 3. You have 6 sapphires just in the bracelet alone. 6 big sapphires. And you know what's really interesting? They're such good quality, you could do a bigger stone. If they were terrible looking, you'd use them in little teeny stones.
Right. And the only reason that I can even do these and bring them in at these values, think about this, okay, is that we're the manufacturer doing this directly. I went, you know, we're in Malawi. We're dealing right with a guy who's digging it from the ground, okay? And we're negotiating. We bought everything that they had. We put together, he had 4 different materials that we were able to get, and we filled a container, that's another story. Getting that to a port city all intact, and then being able to transport it was just another adventure, all untold. But to be able to do that, and that's how we work. It's not just this, but this is a perfect example of what we do, and that's why I don't know anybody else that has this sapphire. I don't know anybody commercially that sells the Malawi sapphire. He had mined it. He had what he had. I don't even think that he's mining anymore. I mean, he just just happens to know a little bit about mining on his property. He knew he had the sapphire deposit, and so he just put it together, dug it up. He had sat on it for a long time. And his friend isn't really a sapphire vendor, but he knew that we were in Ethiopia buying opal, so it was that connect. And he said, "Hey, would you please come down and see my friend?"